Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a 2,000-year-old mystery surrounding one of history's most fascinating and, frankly, most misunderstood figures. For nearly 2 millennia, her name has been wrapped in controversy, carrying all these secrets and assumptions that have shaped entirely different views of who she really was. So who was she, really? For centuries, her identity has sparked massive debate. Some people have widely labeled her a prostitute, while others revere her as Jesus' closest disciple. So today, we're going to put on our historical detective hats, we're going to strip away all those centuries of rumors, and focus purely on what the historical and biblical text actually tell us. Section 1. The Enduring Mystery. Okay, let's kick things off by looking at where her story actually begins in the biblical text. And honestly, you might be a little surprised by how little we actually know right out of the gate. Mary Magdalene is obviously one of the most prominent women in the New Testament. But her name? It wasn't a last name. It simply means she was Mary from Magdala, which was a bustling town near the Sea of Galilee. Beyond that hometown connection, the text is completely silent on her origins. We're dealing with some massive historical blind spots here. There's no recorded age, absolutely no family background to speak of, and no known prior profession. It's kind of like starting a great book in the middle of chapter 3. But what we do know about what happens next, it's pretty extraordinary. Section 2, the greatest misconception. Now, we've got to tackle the single biggest myth surrounding her entire identity. For generations, pop culture and tradition have fed us this cultural myth that she was a prostitute. But here's the wild part. The Bible never actually says this, not once. This whole misunderstanding was basically cooked up centuries later when different female figures, specifically an unnamed sinful woman and Mary of Bethany, were mistakenly mashed together by Christian tradition. The biblical reality? There is zero evidence describing her as a prostitute. Instead, she was just a distinct, deeply faithful disciple. Section 3, Transformation and Devotion. So, if she wasn't the sinful woman of later legend, what actually defined her profound transformation? Well, it comes down to the number 7. According to the Gospel of Luke, Jesus healed her after 7 demons had gone out from her. Now, scholars debate heavily on what this actually means. Some take it as literal demonic possession, while others view it as an ancient way of describing severe physical, emotional, or spiritual suffering. Regardless of how you interpret that healing, the bottom line is undeniable. This experience changed her life forever. She became one of Jesus' most fiercely devoted followers. She went all in, actively supporting his mission right alongside the other disciples. Section 4, Witness to the Cross. And this intense devotion builds directly into the darkest hour of the narrative, where her true loyalty shines brighter than almost anyone else's. If we trace this timeline of humanity's darkest hour, it reveals something profound. While powerful rulers were plotting and Jesus' own inner circle of disciples literally fled in total fear, Mary stayed. Through the arrest, through the unimaginable agony of the crucifixion, and all the way to the empty tomb. When everyone else ran for the hills, she stood her ground. I mean, just imagine the immense grief of watching the teacher who completely transformed your life hang upon a cross, with the hopes of countless followers seemingly shattered. Yet she chose to stay when so many others couldn't. Her unwavering devotion in this terrifying moment is exactly what has secured her place among Christianity's most respected figures. Moving right along to Section 5, Apostle to the Apostles. Fast forward 3 days, expecting only to mourn, she arrives to find the stone rolled away and the tomb empty, setting the stage for history's most astonishing event. According to the Gospel of John, Mary becomes the very first person to encounter the risen Jesus. But in a profoundly human moment of grief and confusion, she doesn't even recognize him. She actually thinks he's the gardener, practically begging to know where Jesus' body has been taken. But that confusion vanishes instantly, and it happens when Jesus speaks just a single powerful word, her name, Mary. In that split second, she recognizes him, marking what is easily one of the most emotional and significant moments recorded in the entire New Testament. Following that realization, Jesus entrusts her to deliver Christianity's greatest announcement to the other disciples. And think about this. In an era when a woman's testimony was often quickly dismissed by society, she was chosen for this task. Because of this, early Christian writers honored her with an incredible title, the Apostle to the Apostles. She was history's absolute first witness to the resurrection. Section 6, her lasting legacy. Now, the Bible doesn't tell us what happened to her afterward, and historians can't definitively confirm the later traditions of her travels. But her core legacy? It's absolutely unmistakable. Her story continues to inspire millions globally today. It proves that absolutely no life is ever beyond transformation. It demonstrates extraordinary loyalty in the darkest of times. And it shows us that God frequently chooses the most unexpected people for the most extraordinary purposes. So, we are left to ponder this incredible mystery. Why is history so often changed by the people society expects the least? The most monumental announcement in Christian history was first entrusted to a woman society might have easily overlooked, and it forever changed the world. She reminds us that faithfulness matters, and that history is sometimes changed by the people least expected. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this deep dive helped you see the actual history behind the mystery. Catch you next time.